alternative pain relief, and I wanted to just explain to you how stress affects the body, because with a bit of understanding of what happens to your body, you can start to reverse the impact and reduce the likelihood of picking up an illness or an injury. So with any kind of stress in the body, stress can cause inflammation, and when we have inflammation, that's when the body's run down and it can't cope with what's going on, and then that can lead to either an illness or a potential injury. So if we look at what stress is a demand on the body that isn't just getting us motivated to do something, it's actually putting pressure on us. So what happens when we are going through that sort of pressure or stress is the body's releasing adrenaline, cortisol from the adrenal glands that sit just above the kidneys. If your body is in that state, sometimes that can be beneficial because it gets us to do things. It's the protection for the body to get ourselves out of the way of a moving car. So actually it is a mechanism that is very good for the body. But we weren't designed to be in that mechanism constantly. So back in the days, if you were being chased by a lion, your adrenaline would kick in and you would run, or you'd try and find an escape. But what that does, when your body kicks into needing to run, obviously you need the blood circulating to your muscles, so your muscles have the strength and the energy to run. So all of the blood actually drains from your organs into your extremities, so your arms and your legs, to your muscles so you can run. When the lion has stopped, or you've got away from the lion, the lion's given up, whatever that is, generally in the olden days, you would then rest under a tree, you'd probably sleep off all the hormones going around, and your body would be able to break down the hormones that you just released and then bring the body back to homeostasis, which is balance, which is where the body can then say, okay, we've broken down those chemicals, now we can concentrate on repairing any cells or putting the nutrition around to the cells, whatever the body needs. If you're in constant stress, you're constantly feeling you're being chased by the lion, then what's happening is your body doesn't have that recovery time. So it's constantly got the hormones going around the body that the body, wasn't designed to have. And that suppresses the immune system and suppresses the digestive system, because of course the blood is now in the extremities getting ready to run all the time. So you're actually taking away the blood with the nutrients and oxygens away from the vital organs to being on tender alert, taking quick action. So if you're running through the rat race and that is your constant, what you'll find over a period of time is that your body starts to run down. And any signs of cold sores or hair loss or skin problems, insomnia, anything going on, you can recognise that actually your body is probably going through stress, and now is a really good time to notice your body, understand what's going on and do something about it. So if we've had the cortisol, that's the sympathetic nervous system. So understanding what stress does to the body, to then reverse that, as I said, if we're constantly being chased by a lion, we're constantly using our muscles to run. If we were to stop, for instance, and take some deep breaths, what that's doing is sending messages to our brain to say, hey, we're not being chased by a lion, now you can rest. And again, how many of us rest enough for our bodies to get into this mechanism? So it's taking deep breaths, actually stopping and resting the body, but it's not just the body we need to rest the mind. There is a saying, if you want to stop worrying about something, stop thinking about it. And what that means is, even if you're sitting with your feet up on the sofa thinking you're resting your body, saying, right, I'm resting, if you're still thinking, right, I've got to do this, I've got to go and see that person, I've got to do this, that and the other, that thought alone is still releasing the same stress chemicals into the body as it were actually the actual event. So it's really important to take your mind off things, because it's the mind that's continuing that stress response. So we're going to look at different ways to get out of the stress response. So this is where the deep breathing, and throughout the day, take 5 deep breaths, and you will notice it. And I think this is why a lot of people like going out for a cigarette. They're actually taking deep breaths. They're slowing down, and they're just getting out of it. So if you're a smoker, maybe it's being able to take the deep breaths without having the nicotine at the end of it. So as we said, so deep breathing sends the messages to the brain, says, okay, no lion, okay, you can send the blood back to the organs, you can do cellular repair, cellular function, help the immune system to keep strong so you don't, you know, burn out and pick up illnesses. So you're looking at doing yoga perhaps, any mindfulness, and I know people think it's a bit woo-woo, all this mindful stuff, but actually if you look at how it changes the body physiologically, it's not woo-woo at all. This is how you're going to get your body out of the stress response. So I think a lot of companies are now doing a lot of yoga, mindfulness, meditation. Now I know a lot of people struggle with meditation, so if you pop onto YouTube, find a guided meditation, because in the beginning all we want to do is get your thoughts away from all the worries. So with the guided meditation, some of them are lovely. It'll take you off into a nice little journey, and that's where you're putting the good chemicals back in the body because it feels good. If you're thinking and feeling good things, you release oxytocin into the body, which is the reverse of releasing the stress hormone. So it's very much about doing things like that, going for a walk in nature, trying to take your mind off things. I know sailing is a really good one because you're just thinking about sailing when you're out there. We were gardening the other day and all we were thinking about is putting a fence up. So it's just about doing things that take your mind off the usual rat race of responsibilities and burdens. What else are we going to look at? Just looking at my notes just so I make sure I remember it all. Laughing, do you know what, that people don't laugh so much anymore. If you do, that's brilliant. So put on a comedy, meet up with friends, and again, some people find themselves, the rat race is taken over during the week and they're too tired to go out, or they're not doing things, that they're too exhausted to actually have fun. It's so important to laugh and enjoy yourself, because that's releasing the good chemicals and helping the body to be happy. So just to recap, if you're in a stressful situation, it's looking at ways to get yourself out, and that's not just an actual stress event, that's a thought as well. So be careful what you're thinking. Look at techniques like yoga, deep breathing, meditation, getting out and about, some fresh air, talking to people, being around people, and just acknowledging, listening to your body. Because if there are little signs going on, then that's your body telling you that you need to slow down before something really stops you. And if you want any more advice, pick up the phone. I'm very happy to talk to you and suggest other things as well.